PC on with me, and all those like PPT and everything were there on my laptop actually, but my laptop got stuck due to some reason. So I can like share the part with you while my cam. I can like switch over my cam. Okay, so if you can see this PPT, it says that why do you require or what is the use of AI basically. So we think that AI started from say recently from 2010 or 2015 or something of that sort. But actually, AI started from 1943 itself. That is a very huge thing for us to know. The first artificial intelligence or the first neuron was introduced in 1943. Then in 1950, the person was there called as Turing, and this Turing person was there who introduced the algorithms to utilize these neurons and everything. Then in 1956, the birth of AI came, and the first chatbot, what we use now, ChatGPT, OpenAI, and all those stuff, they were first introduced in 1966. So very very far back, like looking at the scenario, it is more than 40 years back when actual chatbot. So what do you mean by a chatbot? A chatbot is something which talks to us like a human being, right? So if you have any doubt, you can talk with the chatbot. It will give you answers. So the first actual chatbot was introduced in 1966, very very far back. Then the first intelligent robot came, and in 1974 to 1980, the first decline in AI went. Okay, so some decline, the work was stopped, no actual work was there. And in 1980, again the work picked up the part. And by 2012, actually Google entered into this race. And you can see now in 2024, we have the Bard, which is been powered by Google. Okay, so this is actually the timeline of AI, that is artificial intelligence, starting from 1943. We can have it soon. Before the independence of India, in 1943, the first artificial neuron was created. And what is this artificial neuron? This was basically through a programming, through some mathematical equation. So, what is a neuron? A neuron is a biological cell which is present inside a human brain to store memory or to store whatever we see around or whatever we feel. Your memory is created by neurons, and these small neurons together form your memory inside your brain. So this artificial neuron was created back in 1943. By 1949, there was something called as interconnection of this neuron. So how you have a memory? I have say 10, 15 or millions of neurons in my brain. They are interconnected with each other. And because of that, I remember something. So this connection or this, what you say, having this together will create your memory cloud. So this memory cloud was also proved in 1949. And in 1950, the actual very famous scientist is there, that is called as Alan Turing. And many people doubt that he was the father. Some say he was not the father of artificial intelligence. There is some like division between people. Some say that he was the best person for AI. But according to some researchers and whatever I have studied up till now, Aaron Turing, I feel, is the person who was responsible for AI. He put forward the Turing test, which checks the computational intelligence and all those stuff. So he introduced the computational intelligence in 1950. Okay, and then the word artificial intelligence, that is in 1956, the word artificial intelligence was coined. Okay, so many people has this doubt that AI is very recent. It was like in 2020 or say 2000 it came something. No, it is pretty old. We were having the mathematical proof for artificial intelligence. We were having the mathematical proof for building algorithms, but we were lacking hardware. We were lacking the programming language which can support such kind of algorithm. So it was proved way back. In the same way, time travel is possible theoretically, but we are not having the hardware, or we are not having the sophisticated machineries which can handle those mathematical equations. So in coming future, you might see that time travel or going into the fourth dimension is also possible. Okay. So artificial intelligence was actually coined in 1956. And that time, the languages which were there were both basically Fortran, Lisp, or COBOL. Okay. So these languages, again, you might be not aware of this kind of languages because they are like far older languages. Now we have Python, now we have Java, we have C and other languages. Okay. And you can see this is a pretty interesting image. Okay. So Eliza, this is the first chatbot. Like your ChatGPT is there, your OpenAI is there. This is the first chatbot which was created in 1966. And this used to interact using Fortran. So the language which was used to design this chatbot was Fortran. Okay. Now the actual question comes. That is, what is AI? Okay. So artificial intelligence, in very, very layman's terms, if I would try to elaborate AI, I can say that it is mechanical type of intelligence as opposed to human intelligence. So now a point might come into your mind that what is this human intelligence and what is this mechanical intelligence. So many a times we have seen the kids ask their parents lots of questions. They say, Dad, what is this? Mom, what is this? What is this stuff? And you answer the stuff. You tell, okay, beta, this is a car, this is a bike, this is a mobile. And then the kid learns. That is basically a human intelligence where the experimental learning is there. Many a times you just say to a child, don't go there. It is danger. The fire is there. You should not touch this particular utensil. It is kept on a pot or something. But the child won't listen until he experiences the burn. Okay. So what human intelligence is there? Basically, we learn from our yeah, yeah. Okay. So basically, the human intelligence is there where we learn by experience, whereas mechanical type of intelligence is that you program something. Okay. So like we humans learn from our experience, we also need to provide some data to machine to learn. So say for example, if I want to check the market trend, see how my share market is going, so I have to give the previous data of the market so that machine learning model can predict the future trends of that. Similarly, we had done some work with say coronavirus or something, there we had predicted that how the patterns or how the flow of corona will be there, when it will subside down or something. Okay, so just a very layman term to say that it is a mechanical type of intelligence. Now, this question is very prominent among people, that AI is gonna take over your job or AI is gonna take over all the field. Okay, so that is true to some point. If you look at AIs can be broadly classified into three categories. Those are narrow AI, general AI, and super AI. Okay, so this narrow AI, they are dedicated to a specific task, and you can see I have like put a mark here. We are here. So basically, artificial intelligence is at a point of narrow AI currently. In 2024, we are only at narrow AI. Okay. And what does this dedicated task AI mean? Say, for example, if I train an AI to detect potholes on the road, so it will just detect the potholes on the road. It cannot be used in biomedical field. Or if I design an AI for biomedical field, that cannot be used into industrial environment, into industry 4.0 to detect something. If I design something for industrial environment, I cannot use it to predict my sales. Okay, so narrow AI are specific task specific AIs which have been developed to carry on that particular task using the neurons which we have talked earlier. Okay, so you build some neurons, you build like a human intelligence there, and you train it and you try to implement the task. Now, moving a step further from this, you have the general AI. Okay, so general AI takes knowledge from one domain, transfers to the other domain. Okay, so that means what we are doing now into our education system. You are going to schools, you are going to colleges, you are learning something, and you are applying that knowledge to your respective fields. You are learning many things, but you know how to apply that knowledge into different segments. So that is what general AI is, and we have not reached up to general AI up till now. It will take more like 10, 15 years to go there. Then the last is super AI, and this is what you see into movies, the robot movie or the other thing. This is basically the most powerful AI what you can talk about. So machines that are order of magnitude smarter than humans. Okay, they are even smarter than us. That kind of AI is called as a super AI, and again it will take many years to go to super AI, where a particular artificial intelligence will have knowledge of all the domains. Okay, so we are still here, so there is no fear that AI will take over your job, but you have to be pretty keen to learn this new technology so that you can implement these technologies into your own segment to do smart work. Can you tell me when uh, computers came in India? Does anyone know when computers came in India? Yes. Okay. Yes. So computers came in India in late 2000 something, 2004 or 5, I guess. I'm not pretty sure about that, but that time also this hype was there in market that when computers are gonna come into market, they are gonna take over your job. They are gonna like throw many people out of job. What scenario AI has created now? The same kind of scenario were there. There were lots of protests on Indian roads, on Indian streets. People used to say, we don't want computers into office. We want to do only what task we are doing currently. But slowly, computers came in the offices. Computers made your task very easy, and they opened new frontiers for you to work. So basically, whatever repetitive tasks were there, whatever data storage was there, whatever communication was there, that everything became super fast, that everything, the computation and everything became very easy. So when computers entered the market, people were very much skeptical about taking them into work. But once they were there into the system, they created multiple opportunities, they created more jobs as compared to the prior system, and they made the work efficient also. Similarly, when AI is coming into the market, people are very much skeptical about that. But I feel into coming time, it will open more frontiers. It will give you more advancement. It will give more jobs. Okay. Now, the actual big thing, what we wanted to talk about, that is ChatGPT. Okay. So we have seen Eliza. Eliza is a chatbot. So what is basically a chatbot? Chatbot is something like a human conversational thing. So there are multiple domains of AI. Artificial intelligence is divided into multiple domains. You have a domain which specifically understanding an image. You have a domain which specifically deals with going through a video feed. There is a domain which specifically deals with CSV file predicting and all this. And there is a domain called as NLP. NLP stands for natural language processing. So what is this natural language processing? It is how we humans interact with each other. And scientific community has always thought that we want to create an artificial intelligence that is able to talk like a human being. And they started their work. And we have very pretty good AIs which can talk like a human being. We have Siri with us. We have this Amazon Alexa with us. They are artificial intelligence which talk like a human being. They uses at the backend NLP, that is natural language processing, to process the stuff. Now, what ChatGPT brings new to this? So basically, when you are interacting onto a website, say, for example, you went to a website to buy something, say XYZ product, you are there and you see a chatbot there on that website. If you go on that chatbot, you ask a question, it will give you some answer. But if you ask him something different, it will say you just contact on a number. It will not help you out. That is not actually a chatbot or a chat GPT enabled chatbot. That is basically just some 4 or 5 commands are there. If you say hello, it will reply you, hello, how are you? Just 4 or 5 commands are there, it will just reply you that way. But chat GPT is a dynamic way of interacting. It will comprehend your question. It will try to give you a very good answer on that based on its knowledge database. So ChatGPT is trained on the knowledge till 2021. Whatever knowledge is available on internet, whatever different things are there, it has been trained on that knowledge. So if you like go and ask a ChatGPT, tell me about Sachin Tendulkar, he is able to tell about Sachin Tendulkar because there are ample of articles available on Sachin Tendulkar on Wikipedia. So it is trained using this specific knowledge which is there, open source available on internet, and you can go and ask him questions and it will give you answers. But again, if I go here, we are still at the narrow AI part. So that open AI still has some problem. What we have seen after some 15, 20, sorry, after some 15, 20 iterations, your open AI or your chat GPT will start giving you some wrong answers. Okay, now that is the part. So ChatGPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformers. It is a NLP model, basically, what we have talked about. It is a text response model which understands your text and tries to give you some answers. And it is a large-scale neural network architect that was pre-designed on vast amount of textual data. So from where did they get this textual data? So they got this textual data basically from the internet. Okay, and this is the person who has like designed the open AI, and these are the different people those who are into the uh, co-founders of ChatGPT. We have Elon Musk also there, a very much visionary person who has like very latest technology into his hand. Okay, so these are some challenges which the ChatGPT currently faces. So the first of all, the problem is bias, misinformation, privacy, lack of content awareness, quality control, performance, and these different things are there. Okay, so bias is basically the whatever the content what it is providing, it depends upon the model which you are using. So it is becoming very technical. I do understand this, but I can put it into simple terms for you basically. So if I have a model, so ChatGPT has some different models inbuilt inside that. So if I use a model which is trained on less data, and if I try to get some output from that, it might not give me that proper answer as compared to a larger model. So this is where bias comes into that. You have very much misinformation coming. The privacy issue is there because if you feed something to that, that data might get leaked. Okay, so there is no security breaching can be there. So there are different like problems with it. Okay. So, any doubts still here? Anyone wants to ask anything regarding AI or Chat GPT or artificial intelligence? Okay.
Students, are
So,
there any doubts? Please, you can ask.
okay. So I guess I have made my point. So I'll just summarize that part of AI and Chat GPT. So AI is a mechanical intelligence which is built using neurons. Neurons are nothing but they are biological cells in your brain which store the memory inside your brain. So artificial neurons were created using mathematical model and they were included into programming and the neurons were created that brought the first wave of AI. Now AI has different domains and from that domain we have a specific domain that is called as natural language processing called as NLP. NLP deals with human type of interaction or chatting, and that chatting or NLP model is leveraged. to create OpenAI or ChatGPT to have a conversational AI. Okay. Again, this AI has some drawbacks which we are seeing on the screen currently. Now, what is there in the bag for the people of management? Okay, so you are all from management. So these are very, very technical stuff. But what is there for you? So basically, I would like to tell you on this particular slide. Okay, so this particular slide says that data is the new oil. Okay, so why this term is used, that data is the new oil? So basically, if you see the countries which are producing oil, we have USA, we have Russia, we have Arab countries. So this country have monopoly over the market, or they have power over the market, because if you don't have fuel, if you don't have fossil fuel, economics cannot run. And USA and UK control this whole market of oil, because whatever trading is done into international market, it is done into dollars. That is called as forex reserve of that particular country. So they rule over, indirectly they rule over the world because of oil. But now slowly the oil is getting depleted. But now a new term is coming, that data is the new oil. Why this term is coming? Because if you see from the perspective of marketing, if you see from the perspective of sales, if you see from any perspective, basically you require some data in your hand to make some predictions, to plan something, to analyze something, or to make your strategies also. So nowadays, data is the new oil. Anyone who is having the data can rule over everything. So let us see the magnitude of this, that what is the actual magnitude of this. So first, let us see what is the definition of this. So the word data is derived from the Latin word called as datum, which means thing given. So if you give something, that is a data. Okay, so basically the term data is used in form of computer information only. Nowadays it is used computer data, because we are storing everything in the computer. We have seen earlier we used to have register and all those stuff, but as computers came, we started storing our photos, our videos, whatever Word files, whatever Excel files, we are storing everything in the computer. So now this word has become very much synonymous with computer. That data means computer data or computer information basically. And data has very different forms. So you might have a number, a text, a picture, and these all are termed as data. Okay, again, the data has a very vast timeline. So human beings used to keep data track records on bones. Human beings used to keep the data on recorded sheets. Okay, so we used to have the recorded sheets. If you see the Harappan civilization, or if you see the Indus Valley civilization, those people used to have the seals which they used to mark so that the trade can happen between different civilization and the Indus Valley civilization. So humans are very, very prone to keeping data. Humans are very, very much intelligent to have things marked out so that a very good flow can happen. But if you see this data which was collected that time, that means India was trading with some other civilization, the Roman civilization or the Egyptian civilization. That time, the data was static in nature. Static means it was stored in a single register or a single file, and that was not moving. It was on that place only. So if like some person is coming from, say for example, Egypt to India for some trade, so we have a register in India. That person used to mark the details what he has brought for trade in India and all those stuff, and that was static, and that was very less data. But the actual revolution came in 1990 when the World Wide Web was created. That is what the internet, what we use nowadays. So when World Wide Web came into picture, that time a tremendous amount of data started generating, and this all data then laid the foundation for what you say data analysis and data visualization. So now data can be categorized into this many things, that is text, image, video, numbers, spreadsheets, etc. Okay. And data can be technically classified as a qualitative data and a quantitative data. So if you are analyzing a data, you have to give the qualitative analysis of the data also, and you have to give the quantitative analysis of the data also. Okay. So qualitative means some descriptive information. So what a nice day. It is raining. It is very much cold today. So it is giving us some information. That is why it is called as a qualitative data. Whereas quantitative data is specific to numbers. It is 36 degrees Celsius today. That is a quantity based. Okay. Now, data can be further subcategorized. So, data can be qualitative, data can be quantitative, and it can be further classified as discrete data and continuous data. So, this quantitative or a numerical data can be further classified as discrete coming after some intervals, or continuous. It is coming throughout. Okay, continuously, like the sound what I'm talking now, it is a continuous data which is coming to you. There is no stop in that. Okay. Now, again, the discrete and continuous you can see with this example. Now, what I have talked about, the evolution of data or the data ecosystem. So initially, the data was very small and static. That means the data was at one place. If you see this image, the data was at one place, it was very small. Later, after the data evolved, it became large and unstructured. Unstructured means first we were having only some sheets where we used to mark some data. But the data become unstructured. We were having some fields, we were having some pictures, we were having some stamps. So if you like put stamp on a postcard, and it started in motion. So you used to transfer one data from one file from this location to that location, but still it was very small, not the magnitude what we see today. And finally, the data evolved to become massive, integrated, and dynamic. So there are three words here. That is huge data. Integrated stands for we are connected throughout. So if I have something on my Google Drive now, I can send it to anyone, I can share it with anyone. It is integrated with many people. So it is integrated. I can use my Google Drive to integrate some videos. I can put a plugin of Adobe or some plugin, and it is integrated throughout. And it is dynamic also. It is dynamic means it is having multiple forms. I can store video, I can store text, I can store Excel file, and this everything I can have into a drive, and I can share it with anyone. Okay, so this is the ecosystem of data. Now, to give you a small perspective of how much data is generated in a single day. So if you see, the data has started increasing from 74 zettabyte to 94 zettabyte to 118 zettabyte to 149 zettabyte by 2024. Okay, so this much data is generated. This many images are shared daily. This many videos are done. This many WhatsApps are done daily. This is the stat of 2 trillion search. That was 20. But what kind of data? So byte of data is this data what you are storing. So one bit is 0 and 1. Nibble is 4. 8 bits is called as a byte. 1024 bytes are called as kilobyte. Okay, so then 1024 per kilobyte is called a megabyte, and 1024 megabyte is called as gigabyte, that is GB. So GB we have currently. So my laptop is 560 GB, 1 TB, whatever we call that. You have a pen drive of 8 GB. Okay, that is still GB part only. But if you take 10 becomes petabyte, and if you take 1024 petabyte, that becomes exabyte. And if you take 1024 exabyte, that becomes your zettabyte. Okay, so this is where we are currently. So the zettabyte is like very, very far away. Okay, so this much data is generated. So now what is data science, or what we can do with this kind of data? So basically, being a person who is in charge of planning strategies, or being a person who has to command a team, you have information what you have in your hand, and have to give some analyze of a field, a separate domain that is called as data science. So data science basically deals with extracting meaningful information from the data, investigating that, analyzing and giving an insights which will enrich our daily life. Okay, so that is basically data science, and this is the life cycle of a data. Data is something what you collect. So say for example, Google is collecting my data, whatever I'm doing daily. Say for example, Swiggy is collecting my data, whatever I'm ordering on frequent basis. Flipkart is collecting my data, what I've ordered recently. So this is data. That data, when I categorize, say for example, food item, electronics item, something, yeah, I make some category. That is the information. Okay, data is raw data. We cannot do anything with that. But when you categorize that, when you put some tags on that data, say on 20th of August, I ordered this. On 15th of August, I ordered this. So when you have put some label on that, that becomes an information. And when that information is interconnected, that becomes knowledge. And this knowledge, when I try to like some input and out, and I try to track this pattern, that becomes a wisdom. Okay, so that is the whole life cycle. You have data, data is information to knowledge to insight to wisdom, and this wisdom is yes. So this wisdom is what you called as an AI algorithm does. It creates a wisdom path for you to always do the repetitive task to give you some output. Okay, so basically, a data science is something where you use different categories of knowledge. You use computer science, you have statistics, you use machine learning, visualization, human computer interaction to collect, clean, integrate, analyze, visualize the data, and to create data products. Okay, so you create data, different data products. Okay, so you have data science whole thing. So you collect the data from the world, that is the raw data, and the data is processed, cleaned, and then EDA is done. That is called as exploratory data analysis to understand something from the data. Then you create an algorithm from that which will make the further decisions, and then you have the data product which will again go into real world. We'll check the feasibility of how my thing is working, and again I'll do the same process again and again so that I can refine my model. Okay, so many people has this doubt: data science, AIML, what is this basically? So data science is a totally separate field what I have talked. AI is again a separate field what we have already talked about. Where these two fields interact with each other, that is called as analytics, ML, deep machine learning model analytics. So you need to have some knowledge of machine learning also. You need to have some knowledge of data science also to understand analytics. Okay, so data science produces insight, machine learning produces prediction. Okay, so if you want to understand some data, you use data science. But if you want to predict the future, you go with machine learning. Okay, so these are the different career paths which are available, and this is something what you are interested in. This is business intelligent analyst. Okay, so there are different career paths you can do. Okay, now what is the current state of market actually? So the current state of market is there is a skill gap according to 2023 survey of GMAC, Graduate Management Admission Council, which says that 72% of the employers reported a significant gap between the skills of the person possessed, which are recent graduates. Okay, and the market is rapidly changing. So market is skill. So the report of 2023 indicates that 23% jobs are expected to change in the next 5 years due to AI and automation, highlighting the need of adaptable, future-ready skills. Okay, demand for a digital proficiency. So you might be thinking why I need to learn digital things, or why I need to know AI, or why I need to know ChatGPT. My domain is totally different. But if you see a recent survey of LinkedIn basically, which says 76% of the companies prioritize digital skills when hiring MBA graduates. yet only 34% of the recent MBA person have that skill. So again, like a 50% drop is there into digital proficiency. Industry specific knowledge is again lagging. So this is the current scenario of the market. That is why you need to know this current skills, or you need to know this all stuff. So I have like made a path for you to follow. Okay. So you might be feeling that why this path is there, but many of the MBA people are doing this. You have basic Python first month, you have stats probability in the second month, you have advanced partial visualization, you have machine learning there, data manipulation. You can stop at this part also. Okay, so you can stop at this path of data manipulation, where you can be a data analyst or you can be a business analyst basically. But if you go further, you will become a data scientist. Finally, after like 1 year of rigorous studies, you can be a data scientist. Okay, so these are some recent work which we had done. We have created some robot and stuff. Okay, so any doubts till this point? Do you have, guys? Okay, so just a final word which I would like to put for every one of you, that every master was once a beginner. So if you feel that whatever I have talked about AI, or whatever I have talked about ChatGPT and all those stuff is very, very huge, it will take lots of time. What I have shown you, it will take 1 year for you to prepare, or more than 1 year for you to prepare based on your grasping thing. So you might think, okay, there is no need to do. But again, would always help you to get over that. That every master was once a beginner. So if you want to be a commandable person in your own field, you have to start somewhere. At least today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, but you have to at least start, so that you can be very, very proficient into your field. Okay. That's it from my side.
Hello? Hello, sir.
Yes,
Am
ma'am.
I audible?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much, sir. So you still have 15
Okay.
minutes. If anything is remaining, you can also cover it up in 15 minutes. If you want to talk
Okay,
about any.
so I would like people to interact, because it is like becoming, I'm only talking from my side. If that would have been more.
Yeah, it
So
would have been that. Students,
okay,
is there
so
any questions, or you can interact with the sir? It is for your
so
benefit. So please, can you come forward and ask anything you want about ChatGPT or AI?
okay, so I'll give you a thought here. So we all know Netflix is there. Netflix is a very huge thing in market, right? So how Netflix, being a very bigger player in market, suffered in Indian market? Guys, do you know the story of Netflix? Should I change the language? Should I interact in Hindi, Marathi? If you want me to get into that.
Any you are comfortable with. It's okay.
Okay. So मला सांगा तुम्ही की नेटफ्लिक्स being such a huge company, दुनियाभरमध्ये नेटफ्लिक्स इज हॅव्हिंग अ व्हेरी बिग कमांड आणि खूप प्रॉफिटेबल कंपनी आहे. बट वेन नेटफ्लिक्स केम टू इंडिया, नेटफ्लिक्स वॉज सफरिंग अ लॉट. नेटफ्लिक्स तुम्ही बघितलं असेल, रिसेंटली नेटफ्लिक्स गेव ₹90 सबस्क्रिप्शन. वाय? This is a question for you. You are like people from marketing or people from sales. I am a person from electronics. So I'm asking you this question: why Netflix suffered in India a lot? So basically, Netflix was using very smart algorithm to track the behavior of a person. Okay. So what we have talked earlier, that data is everything. Okay, so when they were giving a particular person some credentials, what they used to do, ते त्या व्यक्ती काय बघतो हे ते ट्रॅक करायचे. से फॉर एक्झाम्पल एक व्यक्तीला खूप सायन्स फिक्शन आवडतं. So every time they used to recommend that person some new science fiction and they used to keep that person hooked up on Netflix. म्हणजे तो हर महिने परत रिन्यू करणार अँड दर बिझनेस यूज टू गो. म्हणजे ते ऍडिक्शन लावत होते छोटे छोटे, हे द्या थोडी, हे एपिसोड द्या वगैरे वगैरे. अँड ऑल दोज दे did by understanding the data analysis. They had a very good data analysis team and those people used to analyze the pattern. म्हणजे ते पर्सनली बसून नाही करायचे. They had some algorithms put there, but because of that algorithm, the recommendation was so powerful that Netflix become one of the most powerful or the one of the most profitable company आणि ते खूप ड्रास्टिकली ग्रो झाले. बट when they came into India, इंडियामध्ये आपले इथं आले. आपले तर कसं आहे की समजा if I'm having a Netflix subscription and if I told my friend I have a Netflix subscription, what that friend will tell, give me your credentials, मला तुझे user ID password दे. He will not say कि I'll go and buy one subscription, right? So when initially Netflix came into India, those people were very much confused to analyze the market because I like history channel a lot. My friend might like Marathi channel. Someone, the third friend might like say some another genre like Animal Planet or something. And the algorithm which they were putting up to analyze the market was getting flooded, and they were not able to understand that how they can pitch or how they can give a good recommendation so that people stay watching Netflix only. And this is a very, very good example for you all that they analyzed the market and they saw that Indian people has a tendency to share the username, password, and all those, and they came up with a new strategy. They were having AI, they were having machine learning, artificial intelligence with them, but to make it more smarter or to make the predictions more smarter, what they did, now they give different user accounts inside only one login. So now they have come up with a new strategy. If you like login into Netflix, you can see if you give your Netflix ID to one of your friend, you can tell him you log in with your own user inside my login ID. Now those people have become more smarter and now they are able to track more properly that if again using the same credential, if Samuel is logging, what he's seeing using the same credential, if someone his friend is logging, what is, so that's a very, very good example that how technology can be very, very helpful and how it can give you insights and how you can leverage your business. Understood, guys? Yeah.
Students say something, yes, no. Interact.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
your session.
Okay. So, do you have any doubts here? Do you want to ask anything regarding AI or ChatGPT? How you can utilize into your own domain? I'll be like very happy to give some insights. Or if you have any problem at your hand. So, uh, last year, what we did, we were having a US firm actually, and that firm was dealing into insurance. And for that insurance purpose, what they have, त्यांच्याकडे दोन डॉक्युमेंट असतात. That document has some rules, and these rules changes frequently basically. So say some time this rule changes. Say for example, आता सध्या जसं आपलं आता हे आलं इन्कम टॅक्स, जे नवीन आलं स्लॅब्स वगैरे वेगवेगळे, सो तिथेही बदलत असतं. अँड दोज पीपल हॅव टू ट्रॅक दिस एव्हरी टाइम की काय चेंजेस आले and then to implement that and everything. So what we did at that position, we created a chatbot which will directly feed from the knowledge whatever changes are being done. आणि ते कसं गव्हर्नमेंट साईटवरती चेंजेस टाकतात. And every time you have to go, you have to check the website, what are the new changes, and then you have to recommend an insurance policy or something there in USA. So what we did, we trained a model which will directly fetch the data, and he will only suggest you if I give some feed. Say I have a client with me and that client is of this age, he's staying in this city. His kind of policy I can suggest to this person. The government policy basically. You go with this insurance policy or you go with this because this will help you to overcome the income tax or whatever. So अशा प्रकारे तुम्ही हे सगळ्या गोष्टी तुमच्या केस सिनेरिओ मध्येही युटिलाइज करू शकता. इफ यू वॉन्ट टू लाईक इम्प्लिमेंट इट इन टू से फॉर प्रिडिक्शन साठी खूप जास्ती वापरलं जातं. फॉर अनालिसिस सो एक असतं दॅट इज कॉल्ड एज क्लस्टरिंग. अँड दिस क्लस्टरिंग इज यूज अ लॉट बाय सेल्स पीपल. कारण त्यांना कॅटेगरीज बनवायच्या असतात की समजा माझ्याकडे एक डेटा आहे, जसं एमवेचा डेटा आहे माझ्याकडे ऑफ से 1 लाख कस्टमर. आता या 1 लाख कस्टमरला मी एक 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 वाचून आणि त्यांना इंडिव्हिज्युअली कॉल करून मला एक समजा प्रोडक्ट पिच करायचा आहे. दॅट मीन्स आय रिक्वायर से एक कॉल माझा 1 मिनिटासाठी जातो. सो आय रिक्वायर 1 लाख मिनिट्स टू टॉक विथ दिस 1 लाख पीपल. आणि त्याचा टर्नआउट रेशो माझा समजा या 1 लाख मध्ये 20 लोकांनी करताय, म्हणजे फक्त 20 पीपल आर टर्निंग आउट. बट से द स्मार्टर वे ऑफ डुईंग दिस टास्क इज, मी काय करेल, आय टेक दिस 1 लाख डेटा, आय कॅटेगराइज दिस इंटू डिफरंट क्लस्टर. आणि माझ्या हातामध्ये कोणता प्रोडक्ट आहे, माझ्याकडे एक डिजिटल पॅड आहे, तुम्हाला सेल करायचा आहे. आय मेक दिस डिफरंट क्लस्टर्स अँड आय सी हा प्रोडक्ट कोणत्या क्लस्टर वाले लोक घेणारे जास्ती आहेत. So say for example, I have a cluster of 500 people. Those are very much prone. They can take this product. I will call only these 500 people. 500 लोकांना कॉल केला आणि त्या 500 मधनं माझा काय टर्नआउट रेशो येतो. नाउ इन्स्टेड ऑफ कॉलिंग 1 लाख पीपल अँड कॉलिंग 500 पीपल, दॅट इज अ ह्यूज डिफरन्स. माझा टाइम सेव्ह होतोय, माझा एफर्ट सेव्ह होतोय. अँड दिस इज स्मार्ट वे ऑफ टीचिंग नाउ. Okay, so in this way, your machine learning will be your companion. AI will be your companion. Data visualization, data analyzing will be your companion, which will make you a smarter person in your domain. Okay, so here for what I have talked about just for your domain, but AI is coming into all domain. I had a talk with a person recently. He wants to get it for agriculture. So basically ते एक ऍप्लिकेशन डेव्हलप करतायत ज्याच्यामध्ये ते ऍग्रिकल्चरचे अनालिसिस. आणि त्यांचा मुद्दा खूप मस्त मुद्दा आहे त्यांचा, म्हणजे दॅट इज व्हॉट आय रिअली लाईक्ड अबाउट दॅट. दे आर थिंकिंग अबाउट द सायकोलॉजिकल वेलबिंग ऑफ द फार्मर्स. म्हणजे आतापर्यंत मी जितके अल्गोरिदम्स बनवले, व्हॉट एव्हर आय हॅव डन वॉट लाईक डिझीज प्रिडिक्शन, फर्टिलायझर काय वापरले गेले पाहिजे and all those stuff. But this is what something new came to me. They wanted to analyze, say, if some farmer is asking some queries. Say if a farmer is asking की मला हे फर्टिलायझर टाकायचं आहे, मी काय करू वगैरे वगैरे, तो मराठीमध्ये विचारणार. सो दे वॉन्टेड टू नो की त्याचा मूड काय आहे त्या फार्मरचा, वेदर ही इज हॅपी करंटली किंवा काय आहे. दे वॉन्टेड टू अनालाइज दिस अँड दे वॉन्टेड टू गिव्ह सोल्युशन्स बेस्ड ऑन दॅट. की समजा हा फार्मर खूपच हे वाटतोय डिप्रेस वगैरे, तर विथ दॅट दे वॉन्ट टू गिव्ह सम बोनस ऑल्सो टू दॅट फार्मर, की खूप खूप डाऊन वाटतोय फार्मर. तो ठीक आहे, आपण याला एक फर्टिलायझर सजेस्ट करूयात, पण विथ दॅट विल गिव्ह हिम सम एक्स्ट्रा कॉइन्स ऑल्सो सो दॅट विल बी हॅपी इन लाईफ. असा एक खूप म्हणजे खूप वेगळा कन्सेप्ट इट वॉज अँड इट वॉज रिअली नाईस to have. And you can also think of these different strategies in your mind. Okay, guys? Yes, ma'am. Handing over to you now.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Are there any questions, guys? Students? Okay, I guess there are no questions from the students. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitations and guiding our students on AI, ChatGPT, and the new era of business intelligence. The session was really very informative and wonderful. So on behalf of Matrix School of Management Studies, I thank our guest of honor, Mr. Samuel Patole, for guiding the students. And I thank our director, express my gratitude for your support and direction throughout the session. And one more thing, students, I have posted the form and all the 39 students have to fill the form, feedback form. So thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Students, you have to fill the feedback form. All the 39 students are requested to fill the feedback form. No student will leave without filling the feedback form. You have to fill the feedback form.